their blacklist pushed their way. NRG get the chance to Virtus Pro and Northeption to be able to get to priority positions, but it's all about who has ring consoles to work with here and where they can move. And already, Fnatic getting involved in the action, by the way. They have been able to catch one player out of nowhere.
I was going to say, by the way, the pop-off as well from Satsuki. I mean, I love this energy coming in from Fnatic early on in the game. You can see the battle for the Trident maybe going down, and Zach Mazer was the player to fall. So you can see Lou and his teammate Nox there probably thinking, Zach, where are you, buddy? He's like, I am a Deathbox. I will be with you soon.
Yeah, this is a really tough one for them, and they should be able to get that death box, and they will be able to get back up to a full 3, but this can happen sometimes when there are POIs that are close. You are well aware that one extra player could be drifting a little bit further away from the POI just to try and get loot, and it happens throughout, and you're going to now get the secondary wave of teams that will arrive and hit the ring consoles in surrounding areas. For example, TSM will be able to hit one in Cascade Falls, Na'Vi are currently making the move, and Fnatic are doing something a little bit different. They are hunting. They are looking to try and find the remaining players of that Elevate Bleed combo, and it looks like they found
I don't know what Fnatic, what the beef is at the moment between these two teams, but they want them dead, and it's quite simple. If you're Nox and Lou, try and survive, try and escape, but this could be free KP, and really should be. Zach Mazer falls out of the skies back into the game, but all he's done so far in this game is absorb bullets.
You can see Exhibit is down as well to try and gain that information, and really, Fnatic want these kills. They want to be able to find this to, again, it's asserting dominance. It's making sure that you just get one up in the first game.
One thing they're doing as well here, you can see they're trying to use the smoke evac tower and motherload combo to give them the wall hacks that they need and the outlines of those players inside of the building to formulate their push. Now the issue here is meds for Elevate Bleed inside of this building, right? Because you got to think, even though Zach Mazer has just come back into the game, he's only going to have 2 syringes, so meds are going to have to be shared about between the team at the moment, and you would feel like Fnatic probably could last them out a little bit longer, but now you're going to see them push onto that first kill. Zach Mazer's only got about 20 HP left, and all of a sudden Fnatic are taken down! And they're going to look back at that decision and think, what were we doing?
Zach's going to probably go down here as well and will, but Lou has the meds, and Lou has the chance here to loot up some of these death boxes and ensure he'll have the meds for the rest of the team, and they should be okay to get back on their feet here, but there is a long way to go from Cenote Cave to the north side of the map.
Well, the good thing for them as well is there was a crafter there, so they could craft a med kit or two and then jump in the Trident that was left behind by Fnatic and try and get towards that zone. But we've got to talk about that quickly. We'll check in with TSM at the moment, who are hitting the survey beacon to get the lay of the land where everyone is stacked up. But Fnatic, a 2v3 opportunity not taken. Zach gets back into the game. And even though they're burning through those health meds, it's a situation that is a bad one for Fnatic to come out on the losing side of that. But you touch any teams who try and move up onto that position, but the good news for him, anyone tries to move up, they're moving through the open, he should be able to hit a big shot.
I don't like that responsibility. I don't like being that guy, but some of these players do. Speaking of that guy, it's Timmy. Often is that player to have the long-range weapon, but not right now. Hemlock and Havoc, which is often the dominant combo, but is not the style of its Timmy.
Wolsey trying to take a little bit of an off angle here. As the team in front of them, it's going to be WBG. Use that charged up zipline to get into the building in front of them. Now you wonder here if Mizuchi are going to decide to try and rotate away from this, or if this is a fight they fancy a little bit of. Looking at our map overhead, it is completely isolated at the moment. The closest team to them are DMS, who are at the other end of that zipline, and also Elevate Bleed, who are good news for everybody who's an Elevate Bleed fan, by the way, in the zone and on a Trident.
Zone's closing, but Elevate Bleed, of course, pushing into zone because of that, and they are approaching both WBG and Mizuchi, and Mizuchi have just spotted out Elevate Bleed, so I imagine they will continue their rotation to avoid this fight.
Generous spiders that are available for them to clean up here and also get those evos up a little bit more.
I wonder if Weibo are going to look at maybe the positioning that Elevate Bleed were trying to get and say we might be able to pick up some kills here as well, so they might hold their position for a short time, which could delay their rotation and allow Mizuchi to push ahead of them. Anyway, TSM involved in a scrap here as well.
TSM are going up against Legend Gaming right now. LGD inside of this tunnel, and Vertholz it down to only a slither of health, and now they're getting pushed, but it might have been an overextension, and just as the barrier gets popped, they're going to get that first knock onto MDY. Now we're going to see the rest of them fall as well, and Reps combining with the damage done from his teammates here to get the clean wipe, and TSM will start off hot here in their first fight.
They do time, which could delay their rotation and allow Mizuchi to push ahead.
Oh, here we go. TSM go down.
A scrap here as well.
Oh my God, Vertholz barely staying alive. It's a huge battery being popped.
Vertholz it down to Only a slither of health, and now they're getting
nice.
an overextension, and just as the Barry gets popped, they're going to get that first knock onto MDY.
Oh, yeah, the turnaround. Come on, Evan.
With the damage done
Come
from his
on!
teammates to get the clean wipe, and TSM will start off hot here in their first fight.
They do notice a crypto drone, though. That
Yes,
means there is
sir,
definitely
baby.
Another team somewhere close.
That's a
and
great
somewhere
job
that
with the
has vision
turnaround,
on
bro.
them, but
Get
TSM
sent
may have
out, then
lost
sent
the
right
real
back in.
power.
That's
They
a
may have
great,
lost
great
their
job.
RGL, but they
Well
did
played.
not lose their firepower. Right, we have to talk about the
A
fact
4-5-6
that you still
win.
have arguably one of the greatest players of all time in reps on this roster. You've still got Verholst as well, arguably the best, if not one of the best controller players.
And that
as
zone,
well.
like I said, man,
It is
going straight towards
insane
North Epsom.
roster. The fact they've been able to find the success in the
next ring, that's essentially beacon information that we have on our screens right now. But Alliance, we mentioned group stages, usually their playground. I have to see if they can force their way in towards this zone. And I want to just kind of highlight Unlucky, because I think he's been one of the least discussed pickups, I would say, in the competitive scene at the moment. But I think he's added so much firepower and consistency to this team. Oh, Riddle, we're dropping on.
He's fitting like a glove, but elsewhere trying to fit in themselves is Riddle Order against SSG now. They are right on top of them, but I was mentioning how good SSG are in those 3v3 engagements when they get going. But fighting from low to high, you really need to be considering how you want to push this one. Exhibit is down, so they have the info, but are they going to be able to get the damage?
One thing they don't have is the damage from the Bangalore ult. As you can see, the interception pylon went down, so the Watson being effective in this fight just to eat up those missiles, eat up those sky nades, and now you're going to see the climb up coming in, and Yukio's got to be extremely, extremely careful here. Zainu also has his shields broken. Elsewhere you can see Xhako in the kill feed. He's going to find a knock on the other side of where this action is going down. But for SSG, scary moments here. They force their way into this, but will be safe in the next zone.
Oh my god, that could have been so bad, man. This is also very scary for Riddle here, man, just because SSG's firepower is just insane. Hero's going to be eliminated by Blacklist International. Dude, Blacklist International might be them.
Blacklist International here. Actually, they're going to fly above Blacklist International.
Shout out all the Riddle fans in chat. This is sick.
An amazing rotation from Elevate Bleed.
Team
Considering
the next
where
9
they were
months.
at the southwest of the map, they have now been able to find themselves past 3 teams that were originally ahead of them, but they are now approaching SSG and Riddle Order and maybe shadowed by Blacklist here.
This is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
you say,
E8's in a really bad
Blacklist
spot.
International.
Their rotation's so stalled based off that fight from
Right now,
Fnatic that I don't
where
expect them to
they
be here
land.
at all yet.
Looks like they've had to swing away from the action on your screen right now, and Elevate Bleed in a perfect position.
I mean, they're
If
fine
their
right now.
backs are clear, which it looks like they are.
Low key, if SSG and Riddle fight, this can be absolutely gigantic here for
Riddle Order
E8.
Space station stacked up on top of each other at the moment. Elevate just need to
Someone
show as
pinned-
little
someone
presence
pinned
as
Jay's
possible
message.
and wait for that fight to break
I
out.
will say Riddle Order did very well to hold off SSG.
And that zone is
because
still
that
going right
player
towards
surviving
NTH,
and
man.
getting
NTH is in
lots of
such a good
places down
spot.
to just assert their dominance on top of
Here we
the
go,
building.
Mizuki fighting.
Dragons Esports have gone down. Mizuchi, though, taking this fight, and they've already lost Timmy.
Oh no.
Teams in and around the
No.
world at the moment. This is a
And
team trying to
Mizuchi's
build
gonna be
a little
eliminated by NRG, WBG, and DMS. WBG now dying to Nocturnal. Nocturnal trying to stay alive. And Knock gets knocked.
In the vicinity here.
Oh no.
WBG find themselves just down
tough,
to
bro.
one now. Bobo, it's all up to you.
Some of these fights are fight or flight because there is not
can't
much
rest
playable
this.
space in the next zone, and that's why
Oh,
we're
he's
seeing
sticky.
engagements.
Nice,
But
now turn him
there
back
are
up,
3
bro.
teams
All
in this
these
southwest
teams
area, by the way,
rotating from
Ty,
wall
DMS,
to the
NRG,
top
and Na'Vi overlooking
near
it. Even Alliance
Zeus
aren't that
is
far
going to
away
get
from it. So
absolutely
even if you
fried.
win your fight,
There's just no way you make it out of
have
here,
to be on
man.
your toes. You
There's
have
no
to
way.
be making sure you're quickly looting up and preparing for
TSM
another
right now in the zone close and get insane amount of KP. Nice, Tida getting kills on the Hayaka. NRG also getting knocks again on WBG.
They are safe in this next zone. And it looks like due to the rock formations that are above them, they can around them. They are safe in this next zone. And it looks like due to the rock formations that are above them, they can also shield themselves from the lines of sight of some other teams who are going to be playing the more northern side of things. Elsewhere, NRG still find their way in towards zone. They've essentially come out on top of this battle that has been happening in and around wall. Still healthy as a 3. Ty still have 1 player alive. As you can see, Axis is trying to escape from here. Elsewhere, Na'Vi, like you mentioned, they're the team that NRG have to worry about here. They're trying to gatekeep them. Also shield themselves from the
Nice! Let's go, NRG! Hey, Reptar got more kills this game than he did the last 30 weeks of Pro League.
Come out on top of this battle that has been happening in and around wall. Still healthy as a 3. Ty still
Come on now, baby. Let's go, Reptar. It's the bounce back. It's the bounce back.
Like you mentioned, they're the
That's what I'm
team that
talking about.
NRG
Come on,
have to
man.
worry about here. They're trying to gatekeep them.
That's my fucking boy. Let's go. I'm expecting a big day out of NRG.
If they do manage to take
My
the fight
dog.
against RV, They might be
Yeah,
able to
good shit on. Let's go! Nah! Come on! Come on!
Last minute player going down.
I will say Nocturnal's heart must have been in his mouth there. He's like, firstly, huh, there's a solo. And it was, huh, he's got a Devo! And it was like, okay, we got the kill, it's all fine. So now
I mean, TSM right now has a chance at a ton of KP.
So NRG will be forced into either Na'Vi or Alliance. Elsewhere, you can see TSM.
That sure SK is sick, dude. We got a Riddle Order family. Riddle Order eliminated.
SSG seem to be very,
Riddle
very
dead.
happy with that because it gives them a little bit more space to rotate.
SSG survives it out here too.
That we are now seeing, and TSM are in the middle of it. NRG have fallen. Virtus Pro have fallen as well. It's all up to Verholt.
All good. TSM gonna go down. Virtus Pro gonna be dead.
DMS, the last to arrive, as Prestis tries to grapple to his teammates. It's beautiful to watch Pathfinders do what they do.
Dude, DMS is doing such a good job. These guys are so impressive, bro. It's unreal.
Back in, but now SSG arrive to wipe them out, and Elevate Bleed will go down. And just like that, we go from 15 teams to 8th now. There was not enough playable space, but SSG have commanded a lot of it here on the Southeast.
On board with Koifel, a player who has had so much expectation at such a young age put on his shoulders, one of the best you could possibly hope to have in a clutch situation. He is a damage output machine, and he's trying to force other teams away from the position that SSG have. Just as a note, by the way, nobody is safe where they currently are located inside this next zone, as Hackers gets a knock with that longbow.
Yeah, it's Alliance and North Epsilon who have the priority positions here. They have the height, they have the zone winning idea at the moment, but if someone does decide to push them, there is a chance you can kind of rip that position away from them. So you need to be on your toes, you need to be prepared for a possible push, and that's why you're seeing both Alliance and North Epsilon just back off as a full 3 now. They are not spreading out as thin. They don't want to be caught off guard and give other teams a chance to get in.
I mean, when you look at the position of Alliance in that building as well, you've got Na'Vi, Hao, you've got DMS in front of them. You know, having that longbow in your hands is going to be pretty good for...
All right, let's go, baby. Round 5 closing.
Those fights, pick up a couple of those kills, and then think about what your next play is going to be. But North Epsilon, this was the team who have had priority for the majority of this game.
Well, yeah, but then SSG on the left side now, bro. This is really tough. If SSG wants to fight you, bro, they're going to fight you, and they have armor advantage and everything. NTH has to watch out here.
SSG look to move up.
SSG definitely have the shield advantage. The zone will force them in, and you can see the ult started to
Team
come out
is
as
so
well.
scary,
they need
bro.
the damage to go off here, though. They can't just go in blind because they don't really know where North Epsilon are holding in certain angles.
How eliminated in the meantime.
Nah, you can go down.
Is the opening. Now
Sign dead.
SSG to move forward, but the exchange of knocks will follow.
Wait, Tyler jumped off. SSG gets the reset here too.
And now you see
a third party from DMS. Oh my God, what a third party from DMS here, man. Space Station dead to Tyda. Huge. NTH pick up the KP. That's gigantic.
Also survived. 3 squads remain.
Wow, and top 3 here for NTH as a duo, bro. That's gigantic here. Alliance, man, can take this win, but so can DMS. Wait, Taskmaster fell off.
Down to a 2. And might be
No.
down to 1 in just a few moments' time as well. They get the knock. Should get
Task
the knock.
fell off.
And here comes...
Come in to clean things up, but North Epsilon also survived. 3 squads remain. Alliance are the healthiest, though. We said they were in one of the best positions, and they've got full red here. They should be able to clean things up.
North Epsilon down to a 2. And might be down to 1 in just a few moments' time as well. They get the knock. Should get the knock. And here comes the zipline from Alliance. And you mentioned it. The Pathfinder gives them the ability to engage in this fight, to clean up these final pieces. Alliance will be your champions here in game number 1. The zipline from Alliance, and you mentioned it. The Pathfinder gives them the ability to engage in this
And
fight.
DMS dead. Tyda went crazy. And Alliance with the fucking W. Come on. Well played by Tyda, man. Tyda just killed so many players in that late game to secure NTH in the top 2. That was genuinely insane. Like, actually unreal. Tyda just killed 5 to 6 people there in that late game to keep NTH's dream alive. That was nuts. Well played. Great's going to be first place at 23 total points. NTH gets 6 kills right there, bro. Second place, a 15-point game for NTH. We love to see that, bro. The zone was gifted to them, but it's all good. DMS with the 3-11, Blacklist with a 4-9, SSG get 5th with 6, then Na'Vi gets 6-7, Hao with a 7-8, EXO with an 8-4. We have Elevate with a 9-7, and TSM with a 10 and 5.
And you can't escape being eliminated with just one good game.
Well, one thing to note here with the POI, right? WBG having essentially control of the entirety of height at the moment. Their only job that they're focusing on at the moment is don't let anyone get up here to coexist with us. We'll go back to that in just a second, as Na'Vi seem to be under a little bit of duress at the moment, and it looks like a change of direction, but also there might be a few more players in front of them. Matafe's shield's broken. Henchman trying to fire through the smoke here, and with the grapple, might have just got a really good angle to play off of, but the only problem is he's taking a little bit of damage himself. Matafe will go down, Kaida will go down as well. And it's SSG who come out on top in that fight, and pretty cleanly as well.
Well, SSG, who are touted as the best Broken Moon team in this lobby by Privacy, have at least put their first team win on the board. Now we've got Northeption here, 6th place at the moment. Let's have a listen in and see how they're doing.
ここの右外とかで展開しといてほしいな。これがいいか？右回ってきてる。右回ってるって。
They're going to have to work their way through zone, and you've got the likes of Red Order, Alliance still there and waiting to try and hold them out. Elsewhere, though, you can see that Northeption, who we checked in with a little bit ago, are under some pressure. They did lose one player who has been knocked, and Exoclan are now trying to move in. Exoclan in 2nd place overall at the moment, and it's down to shots like that from Fuda. That's going to be them clean wiping Northeption, and everybody's still on their feet.
Yeah, and that's dangerous for Northeption as well, because they were in 6th place, but now there's a lot of teams that can start to catch them with an early exit, and Exoclan are one of those squads, aren't they? They're very scary to play against because they are very aggressive when they want to be. And even though they were a substitute for this tournament, boy, do they look comfortable here at the Esports World Cup.
Certainly a team who has pedigree. You know, we all know about Swinny. Do they know about this EMP coming in now from Hao? Right, has to back up here, has to pop a battery, and will just retreat to the safety of the building they've been holding now for quite some time. They've got the fences down inside as well, which makes it even more of a fortress for them to play around, and Exoclan will be pretty happy to actually see him retreat back to the building so they can get a full reset, they can loot up, and they can think about their next play here.
There's a few teams who are going to have to think about their next play already, because actually there is a big patch of open space from the north to the south here when you want to get to this next circle, and there's a few teams all caught in that same area. This is what EXO are realizing at the moment. They're being held out by Hao, but you've also got DMS to your right, Tide to your left, and then NRG were also holding that choke point as well. So it's okay for now, but once they get that ring console data, or they find out just through the next round closing.
In and around this choke, you've got Exoclan, you've got Tai, you've got Elevate Bleed, you've got Mizuchi, the solo player alive from them, who's also kind of wrapping behind everything. SSG are trying to hold up DMS, but this is the build-up that we were talking about, right? Everybody here has to work their way through this choke, and if you look at the top left of your screen, as the shots start to come in, you can see why these fights are having to be taken. Lou finds 1, Lou finds 2, Zagmaze will clean up, but the health damage is really, really painful here for Elevate. They will go down by the looks of things to the zone, as Hao will also be eliminated. And it looks like Mizuchi managed to kind of sneak through all of that as the solo. TIE is still there as well, and Exoclan have survived.
You can see on the map that massive gap that I was talking about from north to south that no one wants to cross because you can't really hold that space. And I think Elevate Bleed will probably say, why is there so many teams here? Now elsewhere, because the LGD get eliminated as well, as SSG will push up on this squad.
Mizuchi's final player alive was taken out. SSG looking to take this fight onto DMS and finish off the final players. Zainu is down, and they've got to be careful because Fnatic are in the area as well. And Fnatic, boy, did they need that win a little bit earlier on that we just saw. Space Station Gaming will be eliminated, and it's going to be at the hands of Fnatic. Fnatic now have to deal with Exoclan, who are trying to do what they just did to SSG.
Fnatic versus Exoclan, they both dropped together, and now they're fighting together with red armors as well. But Exo should have the jump on them, but no, it's not going to matter. Oh wait, it's DMS. DMS still had a player alive, and Exo were just waiting.
And now Fnatic just waiting for that opportunity. Damage has been dealt. Suzuki does a really good job, actually, just to hold off the push that was coming in. Like a barely any shields to play with. Yuka, barely any shields to play with as TSM now jump into third party. Let's jump in to a listen in.
No. Where's last? Inside. Go. Breaking fence. Fence broken. Dead. Nice. Look, we need to go back. Yeah. Go. Let's go. Not get held out. We have zip, right? Yep. Alright. We need zip to heady. I don't have dangle. This left team bridge might be overextending.
I don't think so. I'm on my way back. We might get held out this one.
No, I'm 25% off. Or 75.
It's an unlimited pack on our right. No one's even on to our right.
I'm going for it, right?
Where we were.
Careful, bro.
I can't go for it.
Are they close?
Kill him.
Yeah,
Not there.
Let me open this. It's so free.
We have to kill him.
They're leaving.
He's
side team.
Yeah.
Where can we zip to? Where can we zip to play?
Hey, you guys zip heaven, right?
We're saving the left here, no?
No, we have to zip to the heady.
Are we safe right here?
Go to the wall, go to the wall.
We're
safe on the rock.
Yeah, we're safe on these.
We didn't walk the south team. The south team's gonna swing us.
I'm walking up to this
The
rock.
team is gonna swing us here.
Yeah.
Will be joined. There is multiple areas you can play, and Weibo are sharing it now with 2 other teams on the top, as well as 2 teams down below them. This is going to be a crazy ending here. 7 squads now left.
One good thing for Weibo, though, is the fact that there's 7 squads remaining, right? There's more points on the board. I don't know if they've picked up any KP, but they have just lost a player thanks to the Skynade coming in from Reptar. So NRG will get one, but Reptar has gone down as well. Excuse me, it was the flip side of that. It's Reptar who's gone down to the frag grenade. So there is that kill point I was talking about. They've managed to find one.
You can see Weibo up to 19th place with this game, with this drop that they had, with the zone coming towards them. It has propelled them up the leaderboard with a good amount of points, but now they need to make it count, get that one step further, get to the top 5, get to the top 3, help just even win the game at this point. But there is still a big job to do.
NRG, a duo. Trying to go undetected at the moment. One thing to note as well is lots of fights break out as TIE are going to be eliminated themselves. Then the ability with those zip lines down to just zip up to height and take the fight can really gives you an option to be involved in this endgame. Speaking of which, VP versus Alliance. We've been talking about this story for quite some time in this game, how they've been kind of eyeballing each other on the south side of this zone where VP will fall thanks to Alliance. Reps now left on his own though for TSM.
TSM have pushed themselves into the top 5 though, so that's good placement points, but Reps cannot survive any further. Now it's just 4. NRG, Alliance, Blacklist International, and Weibo are still alive. Big for them.
NRG kind of trying to skulk about the edge of this zone at the moment. They want everybody else who's on the high ground to deal with each other before they have to potentially move into their position. Alliance also still alive in this game.
The zone is ending just south of the building, which maybe benefits Alliance a little bit because they can position themselves next to the wall, wait for the drop down, and then just absolutely delete anyone who arrives. And as I mentioned earlier, Effect currently leading the lobby with damage. If you can just let him rip and let him toy with any of the players that are going to arrive there later on, he'll have a very fun time.
One thing that might not be so fun for them, though, is the fuses in the lobby. If they manage to get that motherload down on that final zone and then drop, we could have some problems. So Alliance in a position, like you say, to pick up KP on the drop, but they have to be extremely aware of the utility available for the teams above and around them. But first port of call for them is just got to be survived to get that opportunity.
Well, interestingly, because there's the pipes, the bridge, as it were, that's above Alliance, Weibo are trying to kind of suss things out a little bit, sniff things, and see if they can maybe find anyone below them. But Alliance are playing this one very carefully. You mentioned survive, stay out of any vision, don't give anything away, don't give anyone a reason to drop on you early, and try and encourage these fights to happen elsewhere.
Weibo looking for some angles right now. The scout in the hands of Bobo. Couple of things coming in just to give information where he believes the other teams are located. Blacklist International, by the way, they're inside of the building on the bottom floor at the moment. That's another worry for Alliance. NRG helping them out, though. You can see the gen is down for Blacklist inside. NRG are kind of holding them, knowing that they're going to have to leave at some point, but they don't have to leave for quite some time here.
By the way, Weibo were 8 points behind 19th place. Now they're 6 points ahead of 20th place. That's how this changed everything for this game. But now Blacklist International are going to push and will get the opening knock against NRG.
NRG now just needs to survive. Fun will be taken down. A little bit of a blind fire through the smoke is going to hit something. Bodies or not, they're not going to be too bothered. Now the attention turns to Alliance, who are trying to creep up and get angles behind them. Great job from Hyaka to make sure they're not caught off guard. NRG eliminated. We're down to our top 3.
Weibo still haven't dropped, but now you can see evac tower starting to be dropped down as well, just to create a little bit of a distraction here, as Weibo are looking and saying, is anyone going to join us up here? We don't think so. They can be the last to drop. They will be the only team to drop at this point, and I'm interested to see what the play is here.
Smoke the balloon. Use that fuse ult. Use the motherload to get that information that they need. You would imagine with the knuckle clusters that are available, they're going to be able to tick some damage on those players down in the low ground, and it's going to be the 2 teams who fight before they drop and get involved. Effect left on his own. Blacklist International trying to challenge. He's trying to secure some more KP, but here come Weibo, and this has been their moment to wait for. They've been looking for points so desperately, having been at the bottom of the leaderboards.